Despite efforts from President Ramchandra Paudel, the parliament, which has been held hostage for some time now, has yet to resume operation. As main opposition, CP and UML remain firm in their demand for formation of a high-level committee to probe the gold smuggling scam. Good evening, I'm Chitrakar and these are the headlines of the hour. Police furnishes an 800-page long report on the Lalita Niwas land grab scam, case to be filed against 238, including 4 former ministers. President Ramchandra Paudel urges all parties to unite to end parliamentary obstructions. Today's meeting of the parliament also postponed by issuing a notice. A rescue is underway in Pakistan for 8 people, including 6 children trapped in a cable car dangling over a valley in the country's northwest. And Sitarana Magar picks 5 wickets as Nepal mark a winning start in the Women's 2020 International Series involving 4 nations in Malaysia, see off Hong Kong by 6 wickets. Following its probe into the Lalita Niwas land scam, the Central Investigation Bureau of Nepal Police has submitted its report to the District Government Attorney's Office with a list of defendants that does not include former Prime Ministers Madhav Kumar Nepal and Baburam Bhattarai. CIB submitted an 800-page long report today recommending the District Government Attorney's Office to initiate case against 238 individuals, including 4 former ministers, for fraud and organized crime and demand for a fine of 18,300 million rupees. Former Prime Minister duo Nepal and Bhattarai have been listed as witnesses instead of defendants despite their alleged involvement. On Sunday, the CIB had reached their residences to take statement. The Bureau had also taken statements from the then Minister for Physical Infrastructure, Bijay Kumar Gakshadar, former Minister Chandradev Joshi and a former State Minister, Sanjay Shah, all 3 of whom are enlisted in the report as defendants. The Supreme Court had directed the Bureau to initiate investigations on all those directly concerned or at authoritative role during the illegal transfer of the government land in Balwatar's Lalita Niwas to private individuals. The CIB's probe so far has suggested the involvement of 4 former ministers, 12 secretaries and 17 joint secretaries. President Ramchandra Paudel has called on all parties to find a way to end the stalemate at the parliament. Calling an all-party meeting at Sheetal Niwas today, President Paudel said the country would only develop if parties came together and questioned if the current scenario showed that political forces were acting against the constitution and political mechanism. The President also expressed concerns on the delay in finalizing laws related to transitional justice. At the meeting, Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal said the President's concern regarding the current scenario was valid. The all-party meeting was, however, not attended by CP and UML. The ruling coalition has seemed positive regarding the party's demand for the formation of a high-level committee to probe the gold smuggling scandal. However, a concrete decision has yet to be made. The House of Representatives session called for today has been adjourned once again due to lack of consensus among parties regarding the formation of a high-level committee to probe into the gold smuggling scandal. As main opposition, CP and UML remained adamant on its demand for the probe committee. Parties of the ruling coalition had yesterday suggested of agreeing to it in order to end the parliament obstruction. A draft for the committee was prepared following a meeting between CP and UML's parliamentary party deputy leader Subhash Nemwang, Nepali Congress Chief Whip Ramesh Lekhak and Maoist Centre's Chief Whip. The draft was to be completed through an all-party meeting which could not take place as Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal had to attend the oath-taking ceremony of Chief Justice, and CP and UML Chair KP Sharma Oli also remained absent. The all-party meeting has been adjourned till tomorrow. CP and Unified Socialist Chair Madhav Kumar Nepal has said the current ruling coalition will remain intact and that his party has no intention to leave the government. Addressing the party's Central Committee meeting that kicked off from today, Nepal said that the ruling coalition was formed out of need of the hour and would remain as strong. Nepal stated the Socialist Front and the ruling coalition were complementary forces to one another, adding that the party's unity itself had been solidified. Party Chair Nepal presented a 40-page long political report at the Central Committee meeting today. The report has emphasized on the need to sustain the coalition and has heavily come down on political parties like Rashtriya Swatantra Party and Rashtriya Prajatantra Party. Nepal has also said there were valid ideological reasons the Socialist Party was formed after breaking away from CPN-UML. Central Committee members of the party will comment on the report for the next 3 days. Chief Minister of Lumini Province, Dilip Bahadur Chaudhary, has directed the province's ministers and secretaries to prioritize projects that can prove to be a game changer for the province. Speaking at an event held in Dang's Deukuri, Chief Minister Chaudhary said that there was a need to prioritize new projects over those that would take years to complete, adding that long-term projects require large investments burdening the province government and impede new projects. Chaudhary urged ministries to focus on projects that would have an evident impact on the lives of the general public. The Chief Minister also said there was a need to critically evaluate the province's weaknesses in addition to evaluating achievements. He also expressed commitments that there would be no shortage of funds for projects that would support in improving the public standard of living and added that he would not tolerate delays in province works. Members of Sudur Paschim Provincial Assembly have criticized the government for their indifference towards conducting relief and rescue operation at a time when people have been suffering due to water-induced disasters like floods and landslides. Lawmakers from the ruling and the opposition parties expressed resentment during the meeting of the Provincial Assembly that was held yesterday after almost a month, saying the provincial government had remained without business while public have become distressed due to floods and landslides among other monsoon disasters. They have also demanded for the construction of Bhimdatta Highway that has remained obstructed for the past 2 weeks. Members drew the government's attention towards increasing cases of corruption in the entities under the provincial government and has demanded to investigate and take action against those who are found guilty. They have accused the provincial government of protecting those who are guilty, hinting towards a video that was made public in which the head of the Province Forest Directorate was seen accepting bribe. In the meantime, amendment of the statute to add 2 more parliamentary committees has been proposed during the meeting. The meeting of the Provincial Assembly has been postponed indefinitely, citing lack of business. Time now for our segment, Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question: why is there delay in upgrading works of highways? Your options are A, government not providing budget, B, negligence by contractors, and C, procedural delay. Voting is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. High Court Janakpur has issued a directive for Mahottari Matihani municipality against the construction of any physical infrastructure in the land belonging to Guti. The directive was issued by a single bench of Justice Sagar Bista in response to a writ filed at the High Court saying that physical structures were being built in Guti land without approval. The Matihani municipality had, under the investment of 500 million rupees taken from Ministry of Urban Development to build a multi-purpose building, road and beautification of pond in the land fully owned by Guti Sansthan. The single bench of Justice Sagar Bista has also directed the defendant to submit a written clarification on the case. The Institute of Engineering under Tribhuvan University has raised its academic fees by more than 2 times. This is the first time the institute revised the fees since Nepalese year 2053. The fees for 4-year course of engineering that cost 313,000 rupees will cost 775,420 rupees. The institute took the decision after many affiliated colleges struggled to even raise operating expenses at the lack of the fee revisions since 28 years. Foreign students willing to study engineering will need to pay 1,597,120 rupees. Colleges that have affiliation to the institute provide sessions on civil, electrical, electronics, computer, mechanical, architecture, agriculture, industrial, geometrics, automobile, aerospace, and chemical engineering. Meanwhile, private colleges affiliated to the institute have already been charging more fees. Time now for international update. A rescue is underway in Pakistan for 8 people, including 6 children trapped in a cable car dangling over a valley in the country's northwest. The children were making their way to school when one of the cables snapped, leaving the car hanging 274 meters above ground, officials said. Pakistan's acting Prime Minister has ordered rescuers to attend the really alarming incident in Batagram. Military helicopters have reached the car, but the rescue's status is unclear. The 8 passengers were trapped for more than 4 hours before a military rescue helicopter arrived, a local media outlet reported. The incident happened at around 7 local time. A man stuck in the cable car asked for help with Pakistan television channel Geo News by phone. He confirmed 8 people were on board. According to Zulfikar Khan, an official with Pakistan's 1122 rescue service, the cable car stuck in a place where it is almost impossible to help without a helicopter. A local teacher said that about 150 people take the hazardous journey to school by cable car daily because of a lack of transportation infrastructure in the area. 3 people suffered serious injuries in a shooting incident at a mall in Edmonton, the capital of Canadian province of Alberta. The victims of Monday's incident at the West Edmonton Mall have been taken to hospital for treatment, although the injuries are not life-threatening, the police said. Preliminary investigations suggest the event was a targeted one in which the parties knew each other, police said, as they began to reverse the lockdown ordered in the wake of the shooting. Details of the gunman were not immediately known. The mall, which is home to more than 800 stores and receives average annual visits of nearly 31 million, holds quarterly lockdown drills to prepare guests and tenants for emergencies.
If there's any
Chinese President Xi Jinping was welcomed to South Africa's capital, Pretoria, earlier today during an official ceremony. Xi is in South Africa to attend the BRICS Leaders Summit in Johannesburg. Leaders of the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa are meeting for a summit where they will weigh expanding the bloc as some members push to forge it into a counterweight to the West. Heightened global tensions provoked by the Ukraine war and a growing rivalry between China and the United States have added urgency to a drive to strengthen the bloc, which has at times suffered from internal divisions and a lack of coherent vision. High temperatures lingered in Rome and Milan, with tourists and residents trying to cool off as a new heat wave and Nero hit the peninsula. According to the weather forecasting website ilmeteo.it, heatwave Nero, named after the emperor accused of starting the Great Fire of 64 AD in Rome, will bring temperatures up to 38 degrees Celsius for at least 5 consecutive days in many Italian regions with high humidity levels. Forecasters say the sweltering conditions should ease at the end of the week, when temperatures are expected to drop with the arrival of thunderstorms with strong wind gusts. Italy has been at the forefront of extreme weather events since a heatwave hit southern Europe last month, with scorching temperatures leading to increased risk of fires and deaths. An Israeli woman was killed in a suspected Palestinian shooting attack near the occupied West Bank city of Hebron. Israel, which was already hunting for a Palestinian suspected of shooting and killing 2 Israelis on Saturday, said it saw involvement from arch-foe Iran in the recent escalation of violence. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, speaking with Defense Minister Yoav Gallant at the scene of Monday's shooting, said Israel would settle the score with the attackers and those who sent them from near and far. A spokesperson for the Islamist Hamas group that governs blockaded Gaza, Hazem Qasim, praised the attack and said it was a response to Israel's ongoing assaults on Palestinians. Both Hamas and Islamic Jihad, 2 of the largest armed Palestinian groups, are supported by Tehran. Before wrapping up, here's a look at the top stories once again. Police furnishes an 800-page-long report on the Lalita Niwas land grab scam. Case to be filed against 238, including 4 former ministers. President Ramchandra Paudel urges all parties to unite to end parliamentary obstructions. Today's meeting of the parliament also postponed by issuing a notice. A rescue is underway in Pakistan for 8 people, including 6 children trapped in a cable car dangling over a valley in the country's northwest. And Sitarana Magar picks 5 wickets as Nepal mark a winning start in the Women's 2020 International Series involving 4 nations in Malaysia, see off Hong Kong by 6 wickets. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.